Hey, what's up everyone? So today I wanted to go over the PRS MT15. A lot of people have been saying they have a lot of noise issues or people are concerned about it. So we'll be doing a preamp tube shield test. So we got these, putting it on. We'll see if they're worth your time, your money. Also I have two JJ preamp tubes, the 5751 and the E83cc. So we'll put some riffs through and see if that makes a difference. And we try to make it as quick as possible, as scientific as possible, keeping all things equal. And then also, for the record, my first MT15 amp did actually have some noise issues. It wasn't what a lot of people were talking about with the effects loop, but I would turn the amp on, be quiet, clean, clear. 30 seconds later, I would get a 60 cycle hum, and it wouldn't go away until I turned the amp off and kind of let it cool down a little bit and then turn it back on. Contacted PRS and they ended up sending me a brand new amp. They didn't tell me what they found with the old one. So that's that, and that's what we'll be doing the test with today. All right, let's go. All right, here we are in my DAW. So again, I'm gonna try to get through this quick, and I tried doing it scientific. I'll just go into that real quick. So I had the guitar and a stand in the quietest position in my room. And on the lead channel, obviously you're gonna get some feedback if you just leave a guitar plugged in with the volume up. So I put my arm over the strings to make sure that they weren't gonna do that. So I did it pretty painstakingly. I actually redid this whole thing like 3 times. So it should be fairly accurate as I can get. So just to tell you how this is laid out. So we're gonna do a bunch of noise floors. These tracks over here, it'll tell you what they are. Oh, hopefully you can read it. But like this track is the clean. This is the clean channel with the shields on. Then the lead noise floor with the shields, etc. Up at the top, these are going to be all of the stock tubes. So 100% how it comes when you buy the amp. This next row will be the 5751, the effects loop. 5751 is a little bit less of a gain. It has a little bit less gain, so it should make the amp a little bit quieter, is the theory of that. And then I pop that same tube into the V1 position, so that'll be this row. And then the E83cc tube in the V1 position will be this row. So the V1 position, that's more for tone, but if it affects the noise floor, then you're gonna want to know about it. So we'll just do some tests here. Actually, pull in a little EQ. So that way over here on the corner, we're working with some really low decibel values. So hopefully this will help out. So all right, let's get going. So it's -79 there. So we got 1 dB quieter. Same as with it in the effects loop on the clean channel, at least. That's interesting. Okay. Now move to with the shields on. So this is just with the stock tubes. I didn't go through the whole rigmarole. See how that sounds. So we're about -80, -79. And we're about the same without the shields. So that's interesting. Let's go get the lead noise floor. So it's gonna be a little bit louder, obviously, but here's the stock tubes. Rolling about -40. Here's the 5751 in the loop, effects loop. Yes, it's like 1 dB quieter. So this one, I'm pretty sure I messed it up. And I don't have the amp anymore. I let my buddy borrow it. So I can't redo this one particular test. But there's no way that 5751 in the V1 position is going to be negative 112 dB. So we'll just say, whoops, my bad. And then here's the E83cc in the V1 position, negative 41. And again, that's noise floor. It's actually 1 dB quieter most of the time. So here's the lead with the shields. Negative 41. There's a lead without the shields. Negative 41, negative 40, so maybe 1 dB difference. All right, so this next one is going to be the lead channel, and I put a reverb pedal on the loop, and I turned off the reverb because obviously that would affect the noise. So this is what it is with something plugged into the FX loop. Yeah, so really no difference. This is with the 5751 in the effects. .5751 in V1. And the E83cc. Now I kind of find this weird because me using the effects loop is actually making it quieter. I mean, it's not much. It's like what, a dB or so, but you can't make this stuff up. But like I said, I kept everything as similar as possible, so it is what it is. And this is going to be on the lead channel with the shields on, using the FX loop. Yeah. So again, we're not looking at much of a difference. So this next test, I held my guitar in my normal playing position, which is the pickups are basically pointed right at the PC. So it's going to pick up a lot of interference, and so we could see if this is actually really helps out, you know. So here we go. All these are pretty much about the same. This next one, we have the same setup, me holding my guitar, basically pointed at the computer, with the shields on. So the other ones we were about negative 40, negative 41. And what do you know? Yeah, so to me those shields don't really do anything, and they don't look any better. I mean, they kind of look alright, but wouldn't you rather see a naked tube? I would. And then I did a test. This is the lead channel with no guitar in the input. So we're taking the pickups, basically, of the guitar out of the equation. So I don't know why I don't have one for the 5751 in the effects loop, but we'll just not worry about that. Yeah, so we're real quiet. But negative 103, 104. So most of the crazy sound feedback is all coming from the amp itself. And then for fun, I did my Peavey 6505 Plus, just so you have something to compare against. So that was on the lead channel, because clean, you're not really getting much. So, I mean, this is what, negative 42, negative 43. Couple dB quieter. It's not like I matched the gain either on them. They're just how I like to play them. and that's what I got. So I mean, it's not far off. I wouldn't say that the PRS is a noisy amp just by looking at the numbers. So that's it for this section. On to the next. Whoa! All right, now here's the fun part. So this is where I'm going to put it on the lead channel. I'm going to play through, and then I'll be swapping out a couple different tubes, and you can hear everything as the riff progresses. So I double track these riffs, hard panned, and then it's a SM57 on my Peavey Invective cabinet, a 2x12 cabinet, just because I preferred that sound over the Captor that I was using earlier. All right, so here it is. All right, so for this next one, everything is going to be exactly the same, except I just played a different riff. That way it'll give you a better idea of how these tubes are actually affecting the tone. Next up is going to be the clean channel. You'll notice that there's only 3 takes on this one. That's because I didn't put the 57, 51 in the V5 position on this, because that's just to clean up the noise. It's not really for tone purposes. And also, you'll notice I can barely play my own riffs. Here we are. All right, we're getting into the red tracks, so we're getting heavy. Full disclosure, I used a Digitech drop pedal to get me down to drop A, because I'm a cheater and I don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through this whole progression of riffs. Again, just to give you a full idea of how these tube swaps are really changing our tone. All right, I appreciate you guys sticking around for so long. Here's a little quick back-to-back. See how they all sound. All right, that'll do it for today's test. Hope you learned something. I know I did. What I ended up doing was actually keeping that E83cc and the V1 and the 5751 in the effects loop V5 position. It's a little bit better, I think. Tightened it up a little bit. Nothing was extremely drastic, nor did I think it would be. But hey, take this test as you will. Hopefully it'll help you out. Peace.